conducted in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by advertisement in the Cape May Star and Wave on the Township website and has been posted on the bulletin boards of Township Hall.
All right, if we could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Conrad.
Here.
Councilmember Perry.
Here.
Councilmember Roy.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Sipple.
Here.
Mayor Simonson.
Here. All right, our first, I was checking on something. I gotta scroll back. We have no work session this evening. A lot of pages on there. See that? Technology at its best. All right, we move down to the consent agenda. Any comments or questions from council?
Yeah, I do. I'd like to make a motion that Resolution 2017-307 be tabled at this time.
I'll second it.
307. All right.
Councilmember Conrad.
Yes.
Councilmember Perry.
Yes.
Councilmember Roy.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sipple.
Yes.
Mayor Simonson.
Yes. Any other questions or comments?
I have a comment, Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to table Resolution 2017-308.
All right. Get a second on
Second that motion.
Resolution 308.
308.
Correct.
Oh. All right, made the motion. Anybody have a second?
I did. No? I'll second the motion.
Councilmember Conrad.
I'm going to go no with that one.
Councilmember Perry.
Yes.
Councilmember Roy.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sipple.
Yes.
Mayor Simonson.
No.
I'd like to table ordinance 2017-15 to get some more information.
It's still on then?
I'll second that motion.
No, Simonson was
Councilmember Conrad.
Yes.
Councilmember Perry.
Yes.
Councilmember Roy.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sipple.
Yes.
Mayor Simonson.
Yes. Anything else on the consent agenda? Hearing none. All right, we open up to the public for the consent agenda only. If you go up to the mic, please state your name and address for the record. I don't see, seeing none. Get a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Approval of New Jersey State Firemen's Association membership application for A. Payne and M. Basica from the Irma Volunteer Fire Company. Approval of minutes from the November 6, 2017 meeting. Approval of the closed session minutes from the November 6, 2017 minutes. Resolutions number 2017-302 through 306. And resolutions number 2017-309 through 313, and ordinance number 2017-4, an ordinance amending section 166-2, license fees of chapter 166 entitled Animals of the General Code of the Township of Lower. This ordinance changes the dog license fee from $4.20 to $5, and from $7.20 to $10 for non-spayed neuter dogs. This is the first reading of this ordinance. The public hearing and second reading of this ordinance will be scheduled for December 4th, 2017.
Julie, you misspoke, though. It's ordinance 2017-14, not 4.
I'm sorry. 2017-14.
All right. Any,
So we have a motion from Councilmember Perry and a second from Councilman Conrad. Councilman Conrad?
Yes.
Councilman Perry?
Yes.
Councilman Roy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sippel?
Yes.
Mayor Simonson?
yes. You done, you need to read 15 too?
No, that's been tabled.
All right.
I'm sorry.
All right, so at this time, we give our council comments, that went quickly.
Engineers report.
Oh, engineers report. See that?
Good evening, gentlemen, ladies. Two projects are in progress. Roseanne Avenue, pending the results of the soil sampling from last Tuesday. The bid documents will be completed, and that project will be moving along. Second project, Beach Drive. Those construction bid documents have been completed and submitted to DOT for their preliminary review. Once that's received, that project will go out to bid. Also, the township and Mott McDonald met with Atlantic Electric to discuss moving, relocating the poles out there, and you'll see that Atlantic Electric has already gone out there and at least staked out the new pole relocation. So the project's moving along just fine. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you. Now we move down to council comments.
At the November 14th freeholders meeting, they approved that the Bayshore Road from Wild to Weber is to go out to bid. That's the intersection of Bayshore and Fulling Mill. That's highly important news for everybody that travels that or lives in the villas. It's going to be repaired. We just don't have a date yet. No, Wild to Weber. They're doing certain sections. The North Cape May section they're doing something out with, and we're getting that intersection is the worst in the villas for anything. At the league last week, hit a subject that I don't necessarily, it doesn't matter which side you fall on, but the legalization of marijuana looks like it's going to be a fact. The state's looking to do it. Governor-elect Murphy says he wanted to do it within his first 100 days. People are telling me first 3 to 6 months. So whether you want it legal or not, that's a different argument. The problem is, what's Lower Township doing about it? We need to open the discussion and possibly get zoning board to look at that, start looking at that now, because if we don't do anything, they could put it at any commercial business area in the township. Because we don't know what the state's going to say. We don't know if it's going to have like an alcohol license, a liquor license. There's going to be a marijuana license. But we have to look at where they're putting them in our community. It's going to happen. So we have to be proactive so we're not trying to be reactive after businesses have opened in areas that maybe we don't want. So I'm going to probably ask for formal action either, probably be better next meeting, or we could do it tonight to request zoning board, send something to zoning board.
If council would like, I can send a letter to the zoning board requesting.
Then to start looking at that and see what other areas are doing for that, probably other states. Yeah, I'll make a motion to do that. Send something over to the zoning board to do it properly.
You do second motion? I'll second that.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Perry?
Yes.
Councilmember Roy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sippel?
Yes.
Mayor Simonson?
Yes.
Other thing is I talked to the Department of Transportation. I happened to hit their booth. The New Jersey Transit was not there. But I did get a name and a phone number for the community relations person to talk to about getting some new bus routes in Lower. I explained to the gentleman that we are the largest municipality in Cape May County, and we basically have one route going down Bayshore Road. We need to get people throughout the township and try to help them out. So we are going to, I gave the phone number to our manager. He's going to be contacting them. He's been in contact with some people already, from what I understand, prior to that, and as has the mayor. But we are trying to move forward to get some more transportation throughout the township for our people. Flooding issue, interesting thing. Florida, they're having the same problems with the maps kind of like we are. and some of the people think they're nuts. And this includes the vendor that builds flood barriers. West of I-95 from the East Coast, they were told they have to have a flood barrier, and they're looking at going, this is a high spot, this is highland, why is this? Okay, how big of a flood barrier does that have to be? They got 2 foot. And he's gone, if it's 2 foot water here, all those islands and all the whole rest east of 95 is gone. They're like, that's what FEMA wants, and that's what FEMA's getting. So they're making new things that far inland from in Florida. So we're going to keep up the good fight and see what we can to get our problems solved here in the Villas. Had a great meeting with the Healthy Youth Coalition last week. We are coming up with some new ideas. The manager came up with some really good ones. They're very early to try to get people involved, because I'll let them talk about the classes they went for the opioid addiction, but we're trying to reach out to people, and transportation's actually part of the issue we may have to try to get the youth to doing something else. And one more time, food banks, but I would like to thank St. John of God Parish for what they did last weekend. They had their big food drive, and they brought a lot of food in for the different food banks. That's going to help for Thanksgiving and for a couple weeks after that. But we need to keep that up because it's getting cold out there, and we'll get into heating assistance next meeting. I'll have more. We have some information up here if anyone needs heating assistance is at Town Hall. I think we have a link on the town website. The state has a couple programs for heating and energy assistance. And I think that's it for me. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and we always be safe, and we always want to give thanks to all of our employees for the great work they do throughout the year. And I'll now pass it on to Mr. Perry.
The only thing I have to add is that hopefully the Roseanne Avenue project will go forward, hopefully before the end of the year, and hopefully we get started on time on the Beach Drive project in North Cape May. Other than that, I'd just like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, and please stay safe.
Roy?
I would also like to echo the sentiments of my fellow councilman regarding having a happy Thanksgiving. If you're going anywhere, travel safe. Other than that, just don't overeat. Seems to be
Why not?
the norm this time of year. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. And again, wish everybody happy Thanksgiving. Don't overeat and don't overdrink also. Just a couple things. I actually mentioned the last meeting. There's a $3,000 deduction for the state income tax for 2017 for honorable discharge veterans, just as a reminder. There's also a veterans diversion program that just came out from the prosecutor's office. Is to help veterans with mental illness, PTSD, those kind of things, and kind of get them out of the criminal court system into an area where they can receive some help. And I don't know if the manager, Mr. Ridgway, you've seen this or not. If not, I get a copy for you. I'll share with you when at the meeting. There is the mobile medical clinic going to Ocean City on the 29th of November from 10 to 2 p.m. Just a reminder, the Run for the Fallen fundraiser is February 3rd at the Bolera. Also had a chance to sit down with Mr. Ridgway today and the superintendent, actually supervisor of recreation, Mitch, and we talked about helping the kids, the money we raise from the township and different fundraisers. And we're going to reach out for up to 50 kids in Lower Township and try to assist them with any kind of youth activities that they need help with. So more to come from that. So that's all I have, Mayor.
All right, great. It was an honor being at our annual Veterans ceremony at the VFW here in the Villas. That was another great ceremony once again put on. We have some announcements. Our Rotary tree lighting ceremony, our annual tree lighting ceremony, is this Tuesday the 28th at 7 p.m., starting in the rec center, and then we'll work our way over to here for goodies and entertainment. We'll have the high school choir, as well as a local bell choir from one of the churches, right? They'll be here again. It's always a great time, and it gets you in the spirit. So stop out, again, 7 o'clock on the 28th. And our Christmas parade is coming up on Saturday, December 9th at 6 p.m. It's along Bayshore Road. It starts at the Breakwater Plaza, and it will be ending at the Acme Plaza, as always. And I think that's it for me. Have a happy Thanksgiving and a safe Thanksgiving, and remember what Thanksgiving's all about, the things that we are thankful for. And with that, we open it up to the public. If you have any questions or comments, please step up to the microphone and just state your name and address for the record. Yes.
Didn't know if anybody behind me was doing this.
Ladies first. That's, you know.
Oh, is that what we're doing? My question is for Councilman Perry. Whatever happened with Bayshore Road between Lincoln Boulevard and Town Bank, as far as like doing relining the things and maybe some sidewalks on the side?
That is still, I believe, coming out of design. There are some issues with property easements that the county is dealing with. The last I spoke to the county in regards to it was still on target for 2018. But I will check with the county and see if there's any updates. They said they would keep me updated if there were any changes, and I have not heard any changes. So I will make a point to contact the county and find out where they're at. But they told me it was on the agenda for the county to be done in 2018.
Okay, and the other, I don't think you would know about, where they have that metal plate in the car, in the road, right before you get to the MUA, where it says bump.
I have no idea.
You have no idea about that one. That's part of the town, I guess the county too.
Yes.
So, okay, now I was curious about Bayshore because when I was coming here tonight, there was an elderly man walking along on the shoulder there on the right-hand side, and it's really dark, and it's hard to see people there.
It's dark and it's dangerous even when it's not dark to be out in the
I
roadway.
don't think there's any sidewalk there. That's where those woods are. So
Yes.
It's hard. Huh? That
Yeah,
was
and
what I thought brought it to my mind tonight.
I can say I spoke to Mr. Foster recently, and the one holdup is the easements. What the problem is, you know, in order to widen it and put the sidewalks in, they need to have the land on both sides. And unfortunately, you know, that's owned by businesses and property owners. So that needs to get worked out first. That's usually the biggest hurdle, and once that is finished, like Councilman Perry said, it's in the design phase, which is normal, but to move ahead, you need those easements, and they're the toughest part. So, but
As I said, I just know all the seniors walk along there. and it's
absolutely.
Yes, you do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Since we're on that topic of Bayshore Road, last year we did put in the crosswalk at Old Mill across there. You can't really see it, and no one is stopping for pedestrians there. So I don't know if you want to ask Dale if a sign would be one of those pedestrian stop for pedestrians at that location, because, you know, that's the end of the speedway there and Wawa. There's a lot of things going on, and I've witnessed people still trying to get across, and the cars don't stop for them at the crosswalk. They just don't.
Good.
Not
Yeah,
used to it.
that's
Okay.
it's a bad bend. I know
Yeah, it's
Councilman
just one of
Perry
those
and everybody.
places, but you really can't even see the paint till you're almost up on it, and people just they're just not stopping for the pedestrian. That's a very busy crossing there.
I'll put a request into the county to do something about that.
We got the speed limit down, but then they just keep.
There's a lot of things to look for approaching that area.
Absolutely. They didn't with the new Dunkin' Donuts, some of the other businesses there.
On your mind, and
Yeah.
you just want to beeline for a donut, you know? Coffee.
Yes.
Yeah, Bill Greenfield, Villas. Two things I wanted to ask about. You said the paving is from Wild to Weber.
Yes.
Is that the light by the post office there to Weber? Or?
No,
That's
that's Wild is a few blocks north. It's the first street after the fire company.
Oh, okay. They're not.
So it's starting right
they're
before
not
the
gonna
fire
do
company,
all the way
right where
to
the
light.
Foster
or-
House is, and going up to Weber where CVS,
CVS.
then the CVS.
Oh, they're not going to do all the way to the.
They had before they had stopped. That's where they had stopped prior when they did the Bayshore Road,
Oh, okay.
and then they just did patches over near the
I
intersection.
know there's one big patch. I don't know whether it's past Wild or.
I'll have to check, but right now my biggest concern is that intersection, and they're finally doing it.
Yeah, the other thing is I was out of town. I wasn't able to make the meeting about the beach berms. about the beach berm that they might be putting in.
Okay.
What's the, is that going to be considered like a dune? Are you going to be able to cross over that berm
Yes.
anywhere to get to the water?
Yes.
Or-
This is to alleviate that whole, them saying we don't have a dune over there or bulkheads.
Right.
This will
So
alleviate that whole
berm
issue.
isn't considered a dune, then you'll be able to.
Yeah, that'd be what they're gonna do is that'll become the first dune, and then we'll have that other dune that's actually there. So that's gonna help. It takes it right off
So
the.
if anybody wants to get over that berm, like to sit on the beach or
No, yeah,
go
we'll have,
kayaking or fishing,
we'll have access still, beach access to that.
anywhere, so it won't just be designated, you can just.
Well, you can't walk
over it.
across any dune. You're not supposed to walk across any dune anywhere you want, but we'll have access paths just like we do now.
So, okay, at each street end, or,
Yes.
okay, all right, good enough.
The main thing with that is it's going to help with our
Oh,
flood
yeah,
maps.
well, I'm all in
and-
favor of it, I'm
Yeah.
just wondering if it's, like some towns you can only get over a dune at certain areas, and
No, because I think I
as long
still.
as it's gonna be every street end, then that's no problem.
No, we still want to get it to, I want to open up the access, to get more of those beach access
Right.
points to other places.
Okay,
But then we need owner permissions and stuff like that, but something like what they're talking about.
yeah, because I know some towns you can't go over the dune at every street end.
No.
It's only, every 3 blocks or whatever, so, okay, all right, thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, we close the public portion. And I ask for a motion to adjourn because we have no closed session this evening.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second motion.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
It's unanimous.